Hey everyone, it's God Forgive Me. Welcome back to the channel. You know we're in High Realms, and today I decided I was going to post an updated video on my personal 5 best ways to level in High Realms because there have been some changes along the way, and there is a new best way to level. So with that being said, let's start our list at number 5. Kicking off our list here, it's still fishing on your island. The great thing about this is it's very simple. You just need a reinforced fishing rod and at least 1 block of water on your island. And while you're doing this, your underlings that you've placed down can continue to work while you're getting XP. So what you'll do is you'll click your reinforced fishing rod. We're going to go ahead and left click. We're going to hit escape. And we're just going to go ahead and let this keep going. I would recommend leaving the window up, maybe using like a macro or an auto clicker to basically kind of click here maybe every 5 or 10 minutes, just to make sure that you don't time yourself out. And the great thing about this is every single catch gives you 5 to 8 XP. Now, what's changed about it this time is that they do have enchantments in the game now since my last video. And enchantments, there are 3 that will definitely impact this. There's Instant, which is on this fishing rod, where it gives us a 50% increased catch speed. And then there's also Quick Catch, which gives you 20% increase. And then Insightful gives you 10% increase in your XP that you earn. So that's the top 3, because you can get up to 3 enchantments on one item. But it's really hard. Even with me playing around, I got some great fishing rods, but I was not able to get any of the 2 combinations even of Instant, Quick Catch, or Insightful. But again, great way to start, especially if you're, say, a newer player. Be able to get some nice XP and some loot along the way, maybe treasure chests, and that way you can get other cool stuff like the trident. So still a solid way to start our list. Alright, next on our list, dropping down to number 4 is the oak underling tree cutting method. Now, we did have to update the build for this because they did change how underlings behave. So now we can no longer have the walls. Instead, we're going to have about this 3 block gap. And we're going to go ahead and put all the underlings on this outside border. In this corner right here, they might get to the trees that spawn here. That's fine. It's going to spawn a lot quicker now for these trees, so it's not going to slow us down. And as we go ahead and put these here, you're going to see that, yeah, the trees are going to go ahead and spawn in those grass patches. They are going to fall. Don't worry about it. The underlings are fine. They always come back. With that also being said, we are now seeing that they spawn a lot more of the large trees, which is really good for us because that gives 4 XP compared to the small trees only gave 1 XP before. Now, that also means that it takes more hits. So it's not that one-shot hit like it was before, as you can see right here. So with that being said, it is important to enchant your in my case, it's the Timberbane, whether you have like a diamond axe. What I would recommend is trying to get sharp for that 20% extra damage. There's also pointy, which will also give you 10%. That's not bad. Rapid's great because it gives you extra swing speed of 16%. And of course, if you can also get it insightful for the 10% extra XP. But I would say in order, it would be probably sharp, rapid, and then insightful, or maybe even pointy. But with that, we're going to go ahead and do our left click and escape trick again. And I would just encourage that you again have maybe like a macro or a auto clicker just to click maybe on capture here to keep yourself centered, to keep your account from timing out after 20 minutes. So again, go ahead, leave, do whatever you need to. The downside of this is you are using up all your underlings to do this, but as you can see, we are getting XP pretty darn fast, and that is most likely 4 XP for every single tree we cut. But with that being said, it's still not as good as number 3. Alright, for number 3, we are in the forest. We're bringing our Twilight Sword, so you know what that means. We're going to go ahead and kill some Thorn. I started here at the portal because I wanted to show you how quick and easy it is to get to the Dark Hollow area. While using the glider, we just go ahead and jump over, and we can glide right over the gaps, and we can fly right up the top of this hill, and we don't even have to climb up this tower. We just got to climb up the side of it a little bit, and we can glide right over straight to Thorn. As you can see, again, there are 3. Each one that you kill will give you 50 to 75 XP, just like before. And again, showing off, we don't want to use a Death Stalker because that's only going to give us maybe about 110, where when we use a Twilight Sword, it's going to be 144 as the minimum, and then critical is going to be even higher. So definitely the best weapon. You are going to want to bring some healing items to make sure that you're able to heal in between, and you're going to go ahead and kill every single one of these Grims to try and do this as quickly and as efficiently as possible. What you can do is, as you kill them, memorize the order that you're killing them, so that way you can go ahead and just kind of stalk the spawn, because the downside here is they take a while to spawn. I wish they would just buff this even better. Just make it a flat 15 seconds. That would just make things so much simpler. Oop, I went ahead and killed out of order. So as you can see, now I'm gonna go over here. Then the next one has to be spawning right there. And that way, just to kind of make it easier, and we're gonna know the next spawn's gonna be right here. So again, enchantments are gonna play a factor. If you wanted XP, Insightful is gonna be your most important. And I would say maybe get Sharp and Rapid for the damage to be able to kill them quicker. But personally, if you're going to put in the work to killing Grimthorn, you gotta put Selective on your Twilight Sword, get Fortunate maybe, Luck if you're really desperate. You want to try and get those Realm Keys. They're definitely worth getting because they're pretty rare, and Selective is the most important one to bring that chance of getting a Realm Key down to something much more reasonable. It's a huge impact, so this is probably one of the few times where Selective is very important on an item. Alright, coming in as our runner-up and being dethroned as the best leveling method, number 2 is mining stone. We're going to go ahead and go over to this area. This is really where you want to do the leveling. It's because this area, most of these ores give you 2 XP instead of just 1, like the other areas further down into the mines. So we're going to go ahead and set ourselves up right here. Now, of course, you could maybe enchant on your pickaxe like Giant so you have more range. I think because of the timing of us being able to move around, we're always mining, so I don't think it's going to give you that much help. Just like I don't know if Sharp or Rapid really bring too much benefit. It might, but nothing that would put this at number 1. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and start, and we're just going to follow a pattern here. We're going to break all of these ores along the way, and by the time, like I said, we get back to the start, it's going to start respawning. Now, you can use a macro like Tiny Task and record this, and then once you're back at start, you can tell it to just repeat itself. Because it's constantly moving, you should never time out, but with that being said, make sure that you kind of watch it for at least 20 minutes before you walk away. Make sure that you put it to continuously on loop for whatever type of macro you're using, and that way once you have it set up and you know it's working, you can leave and let this do it overnight, whether you go to school or go to work. And by the time that you come back to the game, you're going to have a lot of XP gained over that time period. So again, still a great solid method. This is the best method without the equipment required for our top method, which we will now move on to. Let's talk about number 1. And with that, it now is time to reveal our top god method of leveling in high realms. It's what you've all been waiting for. This is so powerful. It gives you almost double the XP that you get compared to mining stone. It was number 4 on my last list. It is now number 1. That's right, it is farming wheat. And the reason for this big jump in power is because of a new item that was added when they made the daily reward update. Because after 30 days of daily logging in, you get the Moolah Scythe. This scythe farms a 3x3 area, but it also replants any crop that it farms. So that was the big downside of farming wheat before, was the replanting time. But now we don't have to worry about that. So every single time we swing our Moolah Scythe, we're getting 2.4 XP because we're cutting 3 wheat. And every single wheat that you cut gives you 0.8 XP. So we are able to constantly, if we do what my build is just this long rectangle loop, we're going to always be farming. We're always going to be cutting. So that means that we're going to non-stop getting 2.4, and we don't have to worry about slowing down for respawn. By the time I get back to my start, it's been plenty enough time for this crop to regrow. My method here, this build, I did put my spawn block right here so I can easily restart and respawn. And then I'm going to grab my Moolah Scythe, I'm going to do the left click and escape method, and I'm just going to run left, and when I get to the end, I'm going to go ahead and loop right on back to the start. Now, as you see here, all the way around the edge, I do have a stone path. That's because as I turn around, lag might make me fall short for whatever reason, and I don't want to fall into the void because that's going to break my pattern, because what I'm doing is I'm using Tiny Task. I'm recording this, and I'm just going to go ahead and let it just continuously run these loops for me, and I want to make sure that I'm always farming. So I made it pretty long. If you don't do the loop, running from one side to the other may not be enough time for the wheat to regrow at start. But I've seen a lot of other different builds. I've seen people make tiers, so that way once you get to the end, you just drop down to the next tier, and then you're farming the other direction. And then once you get to that end, you drop down to the next one, and you basically keep doing that until you finally get to the bottom and you fall into the void and you start right back at top. I've seen people even use like the obby checkpoint blocks and the death blocks, so that way you're able to kind of, either jump tiers or jump areas. But to me, this is very simple. It's easy to record, it's easy to repeat. I'm just going to do this one lap. I'm going to set my Tiny Task to continuously play it on loop, and then I'm just going to go to sleep, go to work, go to wherever, and I'm going to come back to a lot of extra XP. This is literally how I AFK farm XP all the time now, and it's why I am all the way up to now to level 74. And one real quick word of caution is, as we're doing this, it is possible, because we are cutting the wheat so fast and it's replanting the blocks, that the server might have an issue and it causes your island to freeze. So when you're doing this, I do recommend keep an eye on your roadblocks, just to make sure that if you see that it's farming the wheat and it's not replanting or the wheat's not regrowing, that means your island has frozen and you need to leave the game and come back in. So just keep an eye on it as you do this. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you learned something new. I know it's the same 5 leveling methods as before, but with everything that's changed in the last 2 months, it was so important for me and I was compelled to make an update video, just because of the addition of runes and enchantments, having to redo the AFK woodcutting method, but most importantly, just because of how much more powerful farming wheat was with the Moolah Scythe. I know this video is going to help the community. That's why I'm here. It's why I started the channel. That's all I care about. So if there's anything that I can help you with, please drop it in the comment section below. Or if you want, I'm very active in the High Realms Discord chat. Go ahead and join there. Talk to me there. You can also DM me directly in Discord if you'd like. I really appreciate any suggestions or anything else I can do to help this community. This game is so great. They're updating it weekly. The staff, the mods, everything's amazing. The community is so positive. So tell your friends and family about it, because I know you all are going to enjoy it. With that also being said, please tell your friends and family about the channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, I hope you have a good morning, good day, good night, but most importantly, God bless. Thanks for watching.